Hello and welcome to episode number 10 of the Alpha Movement podcast, where I, Tom Foxley, will be taking you through a slightly different podcast than usual. Today we're going to be talking about the 13 success principles of the Ultra Fit, and there's no guests on today. It's kind of an in-between episode, so I'll be doing the talking. You'll get to find out a bit more about my points of view. So what I've done is I've compiled a list of the 13 most important things that my clients who do the best have done in order to achieve their results. What you'll notice is that they're not very tangible things. They're not like they squatted this many times a week, or they pressed overhead this many times a week, or they did exactly this, but they're kind of quite big guidelines. You see, I've been in the privileged position to help hundreds of guys change now, and I've identified some common themes. We'll also be talking a bit about what athletes do and how that kind of transfers to what you can do. The other thing that I want to make clear is none of these things are genetic dispositions. They are entirely things that you can work on. And essentially, the last thing I want to point out in this little intro section is just talking about the fact that we're essentially modelling people's success. We're finding people who have done have done things very well, and we're mapping out a route from there. So the first point is they work really, really hard. There is nothing fancy about what most of them do. They just work hard, okay? They have a purpose and precision to everything they do, and this applies to both in and out of sessions. So whether they're working on their recovery or their nutrition, or when they're actually in the gym, from warming up all the way to the mobility work at the end, doing cool downs, they have that purpose and precision there. The second thing is they know when to rein it in. So although I recommend working very hard, there's got to be times when you kind of take it back a level. And this could be when you're deloading, or it could be if you've got a bit of an injury, or you can feel a niggle coming on. But also if you're looking for purely aerobic gains, this could be really beneficial, because sometimes you need to work a bit lower down in order to improve your aerobic capacity without tapping into those glycolytic pathways. Just in case you can hear that, I don't know whether you'll be able to, there is someone mowing their lawn next to me, so hopefully that's not too noisy for you. Just let you know what that is. So yeah, the another kind of thing on that is fitness comes in ebbs and flows. Like, there's got to be times when it's going to be easier to push yourself hard, and there's got to be times when you don't want to push yourself quite as hard. So identifying those ebbs and flows will really help you stay in tune with your body, and that's really important. The third thing they do is they want to know why. Once you've got that underlying reason why, it becomes a lot easier to motivate yourself. That reason is why you're here. So most guys that I know have done very well spend some time identifying the why. The best clients actually spend some time really studying why it means a lot to them. This kind of comes into goal setting and other stuff like that. The fourth thing they do is they prioritize their movement. See, you've got this little hierarchy where movement is the foundation of everything we do. You've got movement, then mechanics, then consistency, and then intensity. So mechanics or movement at the bottom, basically how well you're moving, and then you want to start looking at the consistency of, are you moving well the whole time? And only when you've got those two factors in do we start to look at the intensity. The reason why we're going to prioritize that movement is because we're going to decrease the chance of injury. The fifth thing these guys are doing is they're getting their shit together outside of the gym. It's not just the gym that's going to affect your results, it's everything outside. For example, if you're stressed, you're going to produce so much more cortisol, which is going to inhibit your ability to put on muscle, and it's also going to increase the chance of putting on body fat. It's got lots of other stuff to do with sleeping properly as well, but for now, you'll know that it's going to affect your aesthetic goals. So get organised outside of the gym. I know you all live busy lives, but it's essentially a lack of priorities, okay? So you've got to prioritise yourself. You can't pour from an empty cup. I've had guys that have worked shift patterns that, for example, paramedics, policemen, and they still manage to prioritise their well-being and their health above getting back and sitting on the Xbox, for example. Okay, the next point, number 6, kind of links in fairly well. So they're doing something to unwind, again, to reduce that effect of cortisol. That could be meditation, or it could be reading, or it could be watching a bit of TV, or just speaking to your spouse, like anything. Just do something to chill out. That will drop the cortisol again. The 7th thing people are doing is they've got a team behind them. This is something I drew from athletes. If you look at a successful athlete, they've got physios, they've got mindset coaches, they've got nutritionists on board, they've got their sport-specific coach, they've got a whole team of people. But how does this apply to you? Basically, you've got a team around you, whether you know it or not. You've got your spouse, you've got your friends, hopefully you've invested in a coach, and that will just push you on. It's holding that accountability there. It's giving you something to prove yourself to and to hold yourself accountable to. The 8th thing they're doing is they're showing up, okay? A lot of success is just showing up. It's that simple, just getting to the gym on a daily basis if that's what you want to be doing, and really understanding that you've got to be there in order to get the results. You're never going to get the results being sat at home doing fuck all. Point number 9. They're very adept at visualization. Again, you'll notice that this is quite a generic kind of concept. They're going to be not only analysing the movements and the feelings of the workouts they're going to be doing, like before they'll be doing it, they'll be thinking, how is this bar going to feel when I pick it up? How am I going to feel when I'm completely hanging out when I get back from that run? And they're knowing how they're going to feel and trying to pace the workout from there, just so it's not so much of a abrupt kind of brash jump on their mindset in that moment. This also follows on very well to goal setting. They're visualizing their goals, okay? Like, you've got to, as Wayne Dyer said, the power of your mind creates your reality, and that's so true. So if you can really envisage the end goal, then you're so much more likely to get there. Point number 10 is they've got a no-nonsense approach to nutrition. There's no bullshit there. They're viewing their nutrition as a fuel, and they're sticking to it. They're eating good, whole food. They're eating enough of it. They're not eating too much. They're not binging overly, over amounts. And they're also, relaxing with it a few times, maybe once or twice a week, just having a cheat meal. That is a huge component of things. Number 11 is probably the point that encapsulates all the others. Is the fact that they've got a growth mindset. Now, if you haven't read Mindset by Carol Dweck, I'd highly recommend it. But a growth mindset is a mindset that, or you're holding the belief that you can change certain aspects, like certain attributes or certain thought patterns or your ability in something. People have the opposite, a fixed mindset, are of the belief that they are at a certain level and they're stuck there. For example, when you hear people say, I'm no good at maths, or I'm destined to be unfit, or I'm never going to be successful, that's because they've got a fixed mindset. What you'll notice is the best, hopefully you can hear those kids screaming outside my window again. What you'll notice is all the best performers have a growth mindset. They believe they can improve because they never would have got there unless they had that growth mindset. Just embracing that mindset is going to be a huge, huge benefit to you, because you need to remember you can change. That's a big part of it. You have the ability to change where you are, and that's huge. Point number 12 is they're going to embrace a community in some respect, whether it's joining a CrossFit gym or, again, like something that I like to have with my platinum clients is I've got a very unique group of people working together and they hold each other accountable. And that's why a community works well. And that similarly applies to athletes like football players or anything like that. They've got that community around them. Okay, number 13, which is a huge point again, is they drop the bullshit stories that are holding them back. Like, so many times, people try and work with me and they're saying, oh, it's too expensive, or they're not necessarily athletic, or they don't believe that they can do it, and it's all these bullshit stories that they're telling themselves that are going to hold them back from becoming the best version of them they can. And this is something that I personally struggled with for a while, but you get this switch where you realize you've got to invest your time, energy, and sometimes money in order to get your goals. The only thing that's holding you back right now is the beliefs you have. So that wraps up what I wanted to speak about today. I really hope you enjoyed the episode. I've got a few little things that I just want to let you know about. One of them is just follow us on Facebook. If you enjoyed the episode, let me know. If you're enjoying the podcast in general, if there's anyone you'd like me to interview or to talk to on the show, then let me know. You can either do that through Facebook or hit me up at tom@alphamovement.co. I've had some problems with my emails, but they're sorted now, so if you email, I'll happily read it. And the other thing that I want to let you know about is my secret group that I've got going on. If you find the Alpha Movement on Facebook at facebook.com/Alpha Movement Official, PM me and I may let you in. I may let you in if you seem like you're someone who's going to contribute and be a positive influence in the community. Other than that, I really, really hope you're enjoying the show. If you do me a massive favour, if you do like it, just head on over to iTunes and give me a 5-star review, and I'll really, really appreciate it. Anyway, see you soon. We've got some awesome episodes and awesome guests coming up soon, and I'll see you there.